Alright, fourth video in a row. So right now what I want to talk about is another session that I was giving. And in this session I found out or some of the themes I'm finding out that we're being held, you, me and everyone else, as powerful beings. We're also being held as a power plant, just infinite source of energy. And sometimes we can be used to power up the bad guys, the good guys and stuff like that, but in this case the person was actually suffering from it. So here's what happened. I'm gonna tell you a story, Um, so I'm working with this person, just right now, gonna connect, or I just did a session with him a few hours ago. That was good stuff. It's still fresh. So we connect, and he's a person who's really bright, knows a lot, but still has some issues in his life, and he gets anxiety sometimes, and from anxiety it builds up to the point where his body feels sick, and specifically in his chest area. Sometimes it feels like he's having a heart attack. It's really intense, and it's just it's overwhelming, and he's feel draining, like someone's draining him. And so as we talk, I'm trying to find out specific things I'm gonna target when I get out of body. And soon enough, I get out of body, and I'm gonna okay, let's start scanning. How is all working? What's doing that? And first, when I encounter some pains, I'm targeting past lives. Okay, are you being messed in some ways? Have you been shot? Have you, some things like that? And through it all, I do find out that the person had those experiences. It's like a flash, or like a few second movie. I'm fully there, seeing everything happening, and a few instances of the person dying in various ways. And specifically, the heart is targeted. That's where the pain is felt. But apparently, as I go through these incidents, it just feels yeah, it happened, but it's nothing I'm feeling it should be there. It's just it's not the core thing. And I'm trying to track the origins or the bigger thing that's really messing with the person. And as I'm tracking, I'm sensing okay, go to the origins. And I guess instead of going all over the place, I'll tell you how the story went out it after I found out all the details. So basically, the person is out there. He's in the astral body. He's exploring. It's one of his bodies out there. And he's a being that is going to help out others. He's helping out a lot of civilizations, helping out Pleiadians and Illyrians and other beings. And he gets another call for help, telepathically, hey, please come over here. We need help. We need to power up our cities. Our energy went down, and you can do it. And please be here. And the person, of course, goes out to help. But throughout it all, it turned out to be a trap, which he did not knew at the time. He's being a good person. He wasn't aware of what's going on for real, or the bigger, the deeper stuff in the shadows that are lurking and stuff like that. So he goes out there for help. He starts powering up the cities, and boom! For a moment, they knock him out. Literally, he gets knocked out. He wakes up, and he's laying on a sort of table. He's tied up, and his in sort of stasis, so he cannot really get out. And what you're doing, there's a sewing needle. You can imagine, always sewing and stuff, and there's all these little just going and stuff. So similar way, except there's these robotic arms going in his chest constantly. But the thing is, he's able to feel the pain for real, as if someone's stabbing him through. It's as if someone just kind of shot his heart over there, and he feels intense pain, and his whole body gets really tense, it stands up, and it really hurts and stuff. Even though it's astral, but here's the thing. Throughout the whole thing I'm finding out about how it all works, and I'll tell you the bigger story soon. There was this energy cluster, and so as I was learning about the situation, I started that my thoughts started drifting to different places. I'm working on this issue, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and all of a sudden my thoughts go into today I should do this. I'm whoa, this is a red flag. I'm supposed to be fully focused on the mission, on what I'm doing. Why did this pop here? And I know that if I all of a sudden have a thought like that when I'm out of body, if I have some sort of misdirection, I'm being targeted. If I am working with a person, all of a sudden there's this a headache comes in, or some body ache, it's not supposed to be there, and I'm being targeted. So based on my experience with other situations I did and was involved in, I know that I'm sometimes being targeted when I get involved with the bigger picture, and they don't want that revealed. They don't want that solved. They want to keep on going and living and doing their own thing. And since I'm finding it out, and they know that my goal is to end this whole suffering. They want to stop me, and so they start projecting thoughts and trying to distract me. I'm noticing that, and I find this word spot is like a huge cluster of entities, and it's like billions of them. But the thing is, like, it's like being on a watch, and 1,000 comes in at a time, like 1,000 for this minute, 1,000 for the next minute, and these entities, their goal is to make sure that the person cannot focus, because even though he's in the astral body, he can escape. All he needs to do is like focus in, like, okay, I'm gonna break free, and he needs just like 1 second, or like, like just to normally focus on his intention of what he's gonna do to break away, and they're not allowing him to do that. These entities are targeting him, creating different like thoughts. So deleting his thinking, deleting, like, if he's gonna have an intention to break away and be free, they're gonna delete that. It's like just erasing that thought, that intention, and putting in, like, lay still. Think about this. Oh, look over there. And they're like planning out. It's like never-ending mind chatter. Billions of beings talking to you, and you cannot focus, and you start thinking that it's you talking it up when it's actually you picking that stuff up. So the person is being constantly distracted, and they're like trying to destroy his discipline, destroy his focus, destroy his willpower, and they're like constantly like targeting him all the time. But the thing is, it's affecting the person in the present. Even in this life, he has a hard time like staying focused, staying disciplined, staying like having all those things, and he will procrastinate. But it's not as much as like, he's just a lazy person, when the real case is like he has entities messing with him, and because of that, in the present, he's being still affected by those. So now that we find out entities and how it works, I'm like going back to like real stuff. And so here it is. He's laying on a table. There's this like arm, like a robot arm going in, and it's as if they have needles, and they're constantly like stabbing him in the chest. And with each stab, it's like they're draining his energy, like just draining his power, and that is being used like with the wires and stuff. Is his energy that's being drawn from him and squeezed, and like, just like milking and stuff. All of that is being redirected to their machines, and this way they're using this infinite being with like infinite energy to power up their structures. And deep inside the whole realm and the planet they're in, there's this like a factory for machines, like in the underground factory for machines for like robotic parts and stuff. And at the same time, it's like using his energy to give life to those machines, as if like they can become like self-conscious. And now that's really good, like, self-conscious with a program of destruction and killing and this and this and this. So they're literally like, they're getting their own army made that way. And not just that, but they also have entities created in that sort of way. So literally, you, me, and everyone else here, we are infinite beings. We have infinite source of power. And it's really interesting to find out that, like, yeah, we know that they mess with us in lots of ways. But this is one of the first times I saw in person that they're literally using us as like power plants, like never-ending source of energy, trapping us in a way where they can use us to power up their cities, their structures, their machines and stuff. And it's constant. It's never-ending. And so the person was there for a very long time. Because of these clusters of entities, he cannot focus in. He's always distracted. He cannot focus in on breaking free. And he was messed with until the present. Like, he's like still feeling those sort of things, like like this chest ache we're talking about, like, like as if he's having a heart attack, always feeling drained. And literally this sort of structure is like literally draining his energy out, and he cannot be drained fully. He's never going to be fully drained, but that infinite source of energy is now constantly being constantly feeding out the bad, like, dark forces, and he cannot break free. So he's exhausted, and now they're implanting these negative beliefs. They become agreements or different stuff, like I cannot get out, I'm stuck here, blah blah blah, like different things. And like it seems like thematic, I guess, like thematic, yeah, like a common theme, repetitive stuff. But it's a thing. Like, people are constantly being trapped, and that was just like one of those new ways how I found out, just like using us as power plants to power up their structures and stuff. And it's interesting, it's bad, it's horrible what they're doing to us. So being able to find out all that, I was taking care of like clearing out the realms, making sure like they cannot do that anymore. I freed the being, I got all of his energy back to where it was. Those parts were fractured or like cut away or so, like even messed with a lot. I got all that back and like sort of like Uh, yeah, what's the word? Like I'm talking so much today that like it's already like a mess in my head and stuff. But yeah, basically transforming the energy that out was negative is basically transferred and made into the new, fresh, good stuff. And like so, I get back everything in the being, and now he's finally like feeling bad. Like even in the session, it was amazing to see like his ache and like how bad he's doing. And throughout the session of what I'm finding out, he finally has a point of relief and he can breathe again and he's doing better. So like interesting cases, like I'm finding about new beings that are messing with humanity, like this giant plant-eating planets and different people. We have the spiral-looking creatures who are tangling up the relationships. We have other forces that are using us as power plants to power up their structures and stuff. And it's just big. Like we're being enslaved on every level, and it just shows like how powerful we are. And all it takes for them is to make sure that we're not aware of stuff. That they can spin a story, and all it has to be like you might not be aware of stuff. Like how can they trap us? We're so powerful. How can they do this sort of thing? But all you need to do is spin a story. Like tell a lie and make you believe the stuff. And here you are being a hero trying to help out, and they just use that as a story, as a disguise to trap you in there. So that's a theme. That's a thing happening, and like it's interesting. I have a recording of that. I'll try to work on the audio and stuff. So yes, a lot of stuff happening. But like hey, if you have any similar experiences, if you had something like it happening to you, or maybe like in the physical you feel the same thing, you can sort of look at that incident, maybe try to experience it yourself, like get yourself free from that if it's happening to you. But if we're never like limitless powers source and they're trying to use us, eventually these bodies we have, they're connected at some level, and parts of you that got fractured, it's still part of you, it's still you, and on some deep level we're connected to it, so they can target us and drain us in that sort of way. So yeah, being free from that might give us some breathing room, some freedom. And I just wanted to share like the new things I find. Like there's a lot of new stuff I'm finding in my Ubis, and thought I'll share it. So there it is, short video and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, share your thoughts. I'm looking forward to reading your comments, and see you next time. Bye.